I'll suck any dick, any color, any size, not any size. Big dicks only.
So who cares? Why not do your own thing and let them say what they want?
What's up, guys? And in today's video, we're going to be taking the Big 5 Aspect Scale personality test developed by Jordan Peterson himself, the internet sensation, godlike man, king of all the MGTOWs and disenfranchised youths. I think the man is highly intelligent, and I like listening to him talk despite kind of really hating his voice, but there are some things about his personal philosophies, especially the ones that he peddles, that I take issue with, especially the ambiguous belief in a higher power but not really cop-out thing that he does. I like the guy, I respect the guy, I watch some of the guy's work, but he's not someone that I like wholly look up to and love. That being said, I've taken the regular Big 5 personality test, and I've also taken the MBTI personality test, which is the one that like Carl Jung developed with some other guy a long time ago, or a chick, I think. I've taken that one actually like 5 different times in my life, and I always get ENTP, and I'm so transparent with that that everyone can always just guess that I'm ENTP. I don't remember specifically what I got in the last the free Big 5 test, because by the way, this is $9.95 I think or something to take this test. I'll put the links to some free tests down in the description, as well as Jordan Peterson's version that costs $9.95. And in the interest of time and for the sake of not being like super shady, like showing the whole test that I paid for so you don't have to pay for it kind of thing, I'm gonna be limiting this to just talking about a few different things. That being said, I can't imagine a situation where I feel embarrassed or like I don't want to be completely myself when I'm going through and introspecting about myself. Something about it just feels right. I don't know. I love doing this. So I don't think that my results will be skewed by the fact that I'm recording myself do this. I think this is one of my biggest hobbies in life. Maybe it makes me a little bit of a narcissist, but self-actualization and thinking about why I do things and how I can improve myself, both in my way of thinking and how I conduct myself, is definitely one of my biggest hobbies in life. And I feel like a lot more people should be this way, because then they would be a little more self-critical and self-aware. But at the same time, I think these tests are more just for introspection after the fact. I don't think any of these should be taken as fact, and I don't think you should get butthurt or sad by the results. Instead, you should take it as some kind of constructive criticism that isn't necessarily 100% accurate. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the test, we're gonna go through it. I'm gonna leave in a few parts where I want to extrapolate a little bit more on my choices, and then we'll review the results afterwards. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is me gearing up for doing more structured videos. I wanted to do something a little bit more fun before I get into the like script writing, because I've found that a lot of my videos are just not succinct enough for me. So I'm gonna have to start scripting some things where the topic is a little bit more intense, and hopefully that'll create a nice little mix of scripted, more succinct videos that aren't like 30 minutes, and then the 30-minute rambling videos that feel more like I'm speaking to you as a friend and working out my thoughts in real time. Anyway, let's jump into this. So it says the Big 5 Aspect Scale. The system is designed so that users are only allowed to take it one time because, and I don't quote, if you take it more than one time, you might actually impart some biases when you're answering, because you might know how the question is going to equate to the answer that you want to get, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, let's go. I am a woman. I'm glad there are only 2 choices. So you're presented with 100 phrases that look like I'm sad much of the time, or I frequently compliment people, and you talk about your degree of agreeableness to that question or statement. And you like choose which level of agreement you are in with that phrase. You can only take the test once because it won't be genuine if you take it more often. Supposedly, it's really accurate to self-analyze. Many would think that when you're taking a test like this, and it might be a little bit hindered, at least your perception of it might be a little bit hindered because you guys get to see me kind of take it, or because I'm sharing it with other people, but supposedly self-reporting is accurate. It's best not to take the test under conditions that will make you more self-critical. If you're hungry, eat something first. Personality rating task. The following pages contain a series of items describing characteristics that may or may not apply to you. Easy shit. Rarely get irritated. That's definitely not true. I'm definitely constantly irritated, mostly when I perceive someone as being unintelligent or beyond a level of unintelligent that I feel should be at least the norm. Things like basic grammar from like 1st grade or something, when the person happens to be a native English speaker. So yeah, definitely not me to rarely get irritated. But I don't know if I would say I strongly disagree. Let's put it at a 2. I believe I am better than others. This is a weird one. Sorry to do 2 in a row, but this is a weird one because I do believe personally that my perspective is that I'm better than other people. Not everyone, but I like myself a lot and I don't have a problem with that because I'm also realistic. At the same time, and I've talked about this before, but at the same time as my loving myself and thinking I'm better than other people, I also understand that my experience of myself is subjective. So even if I was in some objective metric better than other people, people value things on a different scale. So the things that I value in myself that makes me better in my eyes could make me completely the worst person ever in other people's eyes. So I don't go around like holding my head high with like some air of arrogance that I'm like better than you. I just happen to think that, you know, I'm a really cool person because I've developed myself and been inside myself for so long. And I think it's really important to like yourself. So I feel like this is gonna like skew my results in a way because I'm not explaining myself. And I'm often over analytical with these things because I'm often just like, well, this doesn't take into context this. Definitely believe in the importance of art. Very comfortable with myself. Definitely do find it difficult to start work. I don't know why, and I think that me scripting things will help me with this because I do feel like sometimes I don't want to start because if I start before I'm completely ready in the completely like correct mindset, I'll end up like just ruining the video and I'll never redo a video. I'll always just put it up because I'm like, it's not awful. And then redoing it seems so artificial. I don't know. So yeah, it definitely takes me a while to start work. But again, I feel like there's like nuance behind why that is, and it's not just because I'm like lazy or something. Definitely keep others at a distance. Definitely do not hate to seem pushy. In fact, Cold often brings up how like uncomfortable I make him because I'm too assertive. Weird. I also know that Jordan Peterson would say that that makes me a very unsuitable candidate for a mate. Good thing I kind of already have one. Strongly agree I love to reflect on things. That's why I'm paying $9.95 for a test for a video. Take advantage of others. You're supposed to add an I to all of these, I guess. I wouldn't say that I take advantage of others. I believe in the Ayn Rand, like, rational self-interest thing where, like, the people that I'm involved with have their own rational self-interest, so I don't take advantage of people on some kind of premise that hasn't been established, where it's, like, kind of like a transactional friendship, where we both enjoy each other's company. I don't just, like, pretend that I care more about a person or that something in our bond is closer so that I can get something out of someone. So I feel like that would be like a no. I don't know, you can tell me in the comments what you think about that. I definitely get deeply immersed in music. Holy shit, music is one of my only cathartic releases, so avoid philosophical discussions. Well, no, I do not. I definitely avoid imposing my will on others, that's for sure. But that's just because I come from a place of like moral nihilism where it seems so silly to do so, you know? Definitely bothered by messy people. I kind of don't like poetry. It's one of my least favorite forms of art. What constitutes putting people under pressure? I mean, like, I'm not in a business where I have to put someone under pressure, but does like maybe my assertiveness put people under pressure? Or maybe do I put men under pressure because they're intimidated by me? I don't know. Neither agree nor disagree on that one. I don't know what to say on these ones that talk about interpersonal relationships, like I have no time for others and stuff, because like I definitely never respond to text messages from like anyone unless I'm really interested in them myself. I don't have that many friends or keep up with that many friends, and like as you guys know, if you guys have gotten any modicum of closeness with me, that I'm kind of distant, but with Jay I'm like I need Jay all the time or whatever. So I think my people that I'm currently interested in, or people who really stimulate me, I will make the time to not be distant with, but I don't know, I just don't seek large amounts of interaction with people. I don't like seek friendships, you know? I insult people. Probably. I can neither agree nor disagree on being bothered by disorder, because I'm bothered by like clutter or like messy people, but I'm not bothered by disorder in my day. So I don't know which they would be meaning here. I can talk others into doing things, but I don't. Strongly agree that I need a creative outlet. Specifically, I need a creative outlet for my ideas and my sexuality. Those are the two things that I feel like get pent up and kind of fuck with me if I don't like let them out creatively. Can't remember the last time I was embarrassed. Always know what I am doing. Probably a little bit too much, yeah. Or at least I think I do. I think I show my feelings when I'm happy. Seek conflict. I definitely don't do that. But I don't shy away from conflict if conflict is necessary. Definitely do not hold back my opinions. I'm like lost in thought right now, so. I don't have a soft side. I do. I think I do have a lot of fun. Do I love a good fight? Ugh. Guess not. Definitely laugh a lot. I'm definitely out for my own personal gain, but I don't see that as a bad thing. I think everyone should have their personal gain in mind all the time, and that should be the main thing. The personal gain of themselves and their family by proxy, because that is personal gain. I'm sure that will be evaluated in some kind of like unpleasant way, but it's true. However, I think it's in my best interest not to fuck people over with my own self-interest, because that makes life harder. Things like lying, taking advantage of others, it requires an amount of manipulation that I'm not comfortable with, and that doesn't make things fun for me, and it doesn't create hearty relationships. So that's basically why I don't take advantage of people for my own personal gain like a psychopath would. I think I like mutual self-gain, but obviously no one's gonna look out for me as much as I'm gonna look out for myself, and I think more people need to take that mindset, because we have a lot of really unhappy people pleasers out there today. I do not have an assertive personality. I'm gonna say I disagree with that, but not strongly, because there are certain circumstances where I wish I was more assertive. Like, entry-level assertiveness I'm pretty good at, but like, if it's about me doing something that might, I wouldn't say embarrass. It's like, I don't know how to balance getting what I want and not burning a bridge. So if I really care about that bridge, I'll end up not crossing it assertively, because I'm not a huge risk taker. So it's not that it makes me feel uncomfortable, like the conflict or something. It's more of like, if it's a little bit too risky, if I deem it to be a little bit more risky than it should be, I just won't do it, you know? I've completed it. Let's view my report. Okay, so I've just completed assessing myself with 100 phrases. So I'm gonna see myself based on agreeableness, compassion and politeness, conscientiousness, industriousness, and orderliness. Those are like the two sides of the spectrum. Extraversion, enthusiasm, and assertiveness, neuroticism, withdrawal, and volatility, openness to experience, openness, and intellect. My agreeableness is exceptionally low, and that was something I knew was going to happen. Oh, by the way, this test specifically is based on a formulation where you're tested against other people, so like against the population. And I think you're tested against like 10,000 other results or something. And I am less agreeable than 98 out of 100 people, which is, yeah. People with exceptionally low levels of agreeableness are seen by others as markedly competitive, colder, tougher, and very much less empathetic. I don't like that usage of empathetic. I talked about this in the last video that I recorded, and I don't feel like I'm less empathetic. This is the wrong definition of the word in my opinion. This is sympathetic, in my opinion. And for some reason, there's a disagreement with that definition. But I see empathy as like cold, hard reason, being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. And I can definitely do that through logic and reason. That doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be an empath where I'm actually feeling what they're feeling or have been there before emotionally to understand. I can understand and assess where people come from, and therefore I don't deperson people who have different morals than I do or come to different conclusions than I do. And I really hate this use of empathetic, because no, I'm not a big empath that like feels for everyone all the time or is like, oh, so sad and stuff, and that's what drives me to understand where they're coming from. I'm a person who can logically and rationally see the choices leading up to that point of them making those decisions or having those opinions. But anyway, people may find people like me painfully straightforward and blunt. Compassion, exceptionally low. Jesus Christ, man. Jordan Peterson hates me here. You are less compassionate than 99 out of 100 people. You are exceptionally low in compassion, which is one aspect of agreeableness. Your score puts you at the 0th. I didn't know that 0th was a thing. Percentile of compassion. Oh my god. If I was in a room with 100 people, I would be less compassionate than all of them except for one. Okay. Politeness, I'm not really polite. It's true. Conscientious, moderately low. So I'm in the 31st percentile of that. You are moderately low in conscientiousness, which is the primary decision of dutiful achievement in the Big Five personality trait model, blah, blah, blah. People moderately low in conscientiousness are not particularly dutiful. They are by no means sloggers. They will only work hard if pushed and don't mind wasting time. I have duty to myself and those I care about. I don't have a sense of like arbitrary duty like in general, just for the sake of the word. I don't know. Individuals who are moderately low and conscientious are not particularly concerned by failure. They are not judgmental to themselves or others, well that's true, and tend towards situational explanations for disappointment, frustration, or lack of success. I feel like I'm pretty good at introspection in terms of why I succeed or do not succeed. I'll read more about this later. People moderately low in conscientiousness are more likely to be political liberals rather than conservatives. Industriousness, I'm moderately low. You are moderately low in industriousness, which is one aspect of conscientiousness. Your score puts you at the 27th percentile, so I'm lower in industriousness than I am in conscientiousness. People moderately low in industriousness are not judgmental. Yeah, they let themselves off the hook. They're not prone to guilt, self-disgust, or self-contempt, and have a laissez-faire, whatever will be attitude towards life. I do like laissez-faire capitalism, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I don't agree with this. I think your actions very directly shape you, and if you don't have a drive to do something, you definitely won't get there. And something that's been bothering me lately is I've realized with how much I love capitalism, I'm not a very good capitalist. I would rather just be a hedonist that does whatever she wants her entire life, and if people tend to like that and gravitate towards that, then that's cool. I don't know. Orderliness, typical or average. Typically orderly people are neither particularly disturbed nor disgusted by mess and chaos. I'm disgusted by mess, but not by chaos. I'm fine with chaos. They're not overly oriented toward detail, rigidly rule-abiding, or judgmental. That's true. Extraversion, high. This is kind of... First of all, I keep seeing at the bottom it talking about politics, and I keep getting the liberal aspect. I think I have some very weird traits that make me more tend toward liberalism, but I'm also very not interested in like activism or emotionalism or giving what I've earned to other people or taking from other people what they've earned. But socially, yeah, I'm very liberal, or better described as libertarian, because I just don't care what people do, and I want to be able to do whatever I want to do. So people who are high in extroversion make enthusiastic employees. Okay, I've used to think that I was an extrovert, but I'm so introverted because I don't like spending time with people or doing anything with people, so it's weird. I think I get the opposite results with tests that are a little bit more center or left-leaning. I'm getting like conservative right-wing vibes from the reactions to my answers here, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like usually I'll get introverted or like closer to being an introvert. This is interesting. It's something to take in because this is kind of how I would imagine someone like Jordan Peterson or Ben Shapiro sees me, like politically liberal. Enthusiasm, high. You were high in enthusiasm. 79th percentile. What was this? 86th percentile. So I'm super extroverted, super enthusiastic. Individuals who are high in enthusiasm are excitable, happy, and easy to get to know. I mean, that's true. I make a YouTube video all about how you can get to know me. I'm high in assertiveness, 85th percentile. You are high in assertiveness, which is one of the aspects of extroversion. Yeah, I'm a take charge type person. I don't wait for others to lead the way. We all know this. Liberals tend to be slightly less assertive than conservatives. Women are slightly less assertive than men. I wouldn't say that women are slightly less assertive. I would say that they're like really less assertive. Neuroticism is low. Okay, what specifically is neuroticism? It's like worrying about everything. Like, what are they gonna say? Because I'm in the 20th percentile. Usually women are a little bit more neurotic. That's where that like whole pushback against the term neurotic comes from, because it's more pertaining to women. And I think it used to actually be like a disease that women have. Like, she's a neurotic or something back in the days where they would just like, you know, put people in mental institutions because they were on their period or something. I don't know. Trait neuroticism is made up of the aspects withdrawal and volatility. Okay, so being volatile. I'm not volatile. That's true. People with low levels of neuroticism rarely focus on the negative elements, anxieties, and uncertainties of the past, present, and future. That's true. It is rare for them to face periods of time where they're unhappy, anxious, and irritable, unless facing a serious, sustained problem. I feel like I used to be a lot more neurotic. In fact, I've actively worked toward being less neurotic and more logical, because I didn't like that aspect of myself. As I've talked about in the past, I used to be kind of a bitch because of my neuroticism. The typical woman is higher in neuroticism than 60% of the general population of men and women combined. Too much maths for me. Withdrawal, very low. That's to be expected. 10th percentile. You are very low in withdrawal. Those who are liberal politically are slightly higher in withdrawal than conservatives. Okay, so people with very low levels of withdrawal feel sad, lonesome, disappointed, and grief-stricken very infrequently. And if they do not feel those emotions deeply nor for long. That's true to me. Their lives tend to be markedly free of doubt, worry, embarrassment, self-consciousness, and discouragement, even in the face of genuine threat and punishment. I mean, genuine threat and punishment, maybe it'll evoke a little bit of that in me, but not a lot. Volatility, moderately low. You are moderately low in volatility, which is one aspect of neuroticism. If overly provoked in a dispute, a person with average volatility may react in kind, particularly if also low in agreeableness. Yeah, so like, I can get in arguments with people who are also strong-willed or whatever. That's true. Volatility is not strongly related to political preference, neither liberal nor conservative. Wow. Openness to experience, exceptionally high. It's all about me being sexually open to experience, I would say. You know what I'm saying? I'll suck any dick, any color, any size, not any size. Big dicks only. Somehow I have to make this about sex, don't I? Okay. People who are exceptionally high in openness to experience are poorly adapted to and do not do well in situations or occupations that are routinized and predictable. They fit badly at the bottom of hierarchies. Yes, I don't think I would be able to do like a menial job, not because of like labor or anything like that. I literally don't think I would be able to just do like a standard job. I think I have to like be my own boss, otherwise I just won't function. I mean, obviously I would make do. Obviously I would do it, but it would be very, very hard for me and very against my nature. And I used to have a little bit of like, not shame, but I used to feel like people would look down upon me because of this, because, you know, like I can't do a McDonald's job and there are people doing it and just like living that way. And that's very, very, because of that, it's very laudable to me. Like, I don't know, when I see guys that are just like taking care of their families and they're like doing everything they can and they're doing this shitty ass fucking job and like wasting their lives away doing it and not being able to fulfill their own dreams and stuff, I see that as very admirable because I don't think it's something that I could do myself. And that's like just another reason why I love men. I don't know, men are amazing. I can't believe people take for granted like how exceptionally rock-like men are, you know, both in the pants and in the mind and in the body. But we will save the man-loving for a different video. I should actually make a video like a love letter to all men. Thank you for being you or something. I feel like that would be appreciated among my demographic. Individuals exceptionally high in openness to experience are entrepreneurial in spirit as well as smart and creative. They can be overwhelmingly interested in creating new ventures. That's me, but then I lose interest very quickly, which is like not a good combination. Sometimes for profit, sometimes for curiosity, and sometimes for personal transformation. Personal transformation is my big thing. Exceptionally high levels of openness to experience appear necessary to the formation and leadership of business and other forms of complex organization, although conscientiousness appears required. Okay, so that's where it is. That's the disconnect right there. I'm kind of low in conscientiousness. I don't think I'm as low as it's reporting, but I will reflect upon that because, you know, maybe I am. I feel like, you know, I work pretty hard, but I also am pretty lazy at times. But then when I compare myself to other people, which I shouldn't do, I feel like, oh, well, you know, they're lazier than me, so like, why am I worried about it, you know? Open, unconscientious people tend to be underachievers, particularly if also above average in neuroticism. Okay, so I'm not particularly an underachiever. I'm like a medium achiever. I don't know. Women and men differ very little in openness to experience. Are they gonna say people who are open to experience are liberal? They have to. Those who are liberal politically are very much more likely to be high in openness to experience. Thank you. Fucking conservatives, loosen up. I feel like I'm conservative in most aspects, except for openness. Intellect, do not confuse. 96th percentile. Like I just took an IQ test or something. Do not confuse the personality aspect of intellect with IQ. Intellect is a measure of interest in abstract ideas, essentially, while IQ is a measure of processing speed, verbal ability, working memory, and problem-solving capacity. Okay, so I'm high in intellect, low in IQ. No, I don't think I'm low in IQ. I think I'm slightly above average. You're exceptionally high in intellect, which is one of the aspects of openness to experience. 96th percentile is pretty fucking cool. People exceptionally high in intellect find complex, rapidly changing occupations absolutely necessary and will excel at them, particularly if they are also high in conscientiousness. Finally, I can't say that word. And low in neuroticism. Okay, so I'm low in conscientiousness and low in neuroticism. So I really like abstract concepts and thinking about things and talking about like philosophies and psychology and science and stuff, but not so much on the follow through, apparently. And the last aspect, openness. I'm high in openness, 87th percent. Okay. The closest synonym for openness rather than openness to experience, which encompasses openness and intellect, is creativity. Highly open, creative people love beauty. Definitely. So I like to combine more rigid definitions of beauty with more abstract definitions of beauty. Like, for instance, I love thinking about the actual symmetry of a person's face and what makes that artistically beautiful. Whether or not I'm sexually attracted to the person, I really like that, and that's something that I've applied to my own self-actualization physically, where I just really have a specific proportion that I desire, and I'm trying to get there and make it all mold together on top of my own natural beauty. And that's something that, you know, really drives me. On top of that, I really find a lot of artistic value in the human body and sexuality, so that when people accuse me of being a porn star or something, I'm like, yeah, you know, like there are some things that I do, or some pictures that I take, or videos that I make that someone might feel sexually aroused by, or definitely will feel sexually aroused by if they're attracted to me. And I see a lot of inherent art in our biology as well, so that's something that's interesting to me. Liberals are higher in openness than conservatives, although the biggest difference between the two is openness to experience at the trait level, because conservatives are often theistic and not allowed to experience. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll post a link to this down in the description if you want to take this. I'll also post a link to a free version of the Big 5 personality test, which is not the exact same test as this one, and I will post a link to the IMBT personality test that's also free, which is the one where I get ENTP. You can post your results down in the description. Please post your screenshots and stuff of any of the tests, and let's compare and contrast and talk about ourselves and introspect. All very fun. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Did any of this surprise you? Is this what you would assume about me? I feel like the one that surprised me the most was the introversion, extroversion. I thought that I would be a lot less extroverted, but I understand that there are aspects of me that are extremely extroverted, whereas more of like the social interaction aspect of me is introverted. It's weird. It's like I can definitely be the life of a party, and when I'm at a party I will be, but I'd rather not be at that party, you know? I'd rather just spend time one-on-one with like my favorite people talking about stuff, and I think it stems a lot from my misanthropy, honestly. But yeah, I love you guys. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. I love how I say I'm misanthropic and I love you guys at the same time. It doesn't clash, I promise you. I love you guys on a symbolic level, not on a like, we're all humans, humankind level. Bye guys. Hope you enjoyed.